guys, welcome back to my channel. Today is Friday, March 19th, and it is the first day of the sun moving to Aries. Yay! Sun in Aries, first degree of Aries. Let's start the astrological outlook for today. Alright, so we have the sun discharging 1 degree of Aries today, the first degree of the zodiac, the spark of life force that begins it all, that writes the entire story of life and creation expressed through the constellations of the zodiac, and it begins with 1 degree of Aries. So, 1 degree of Aries. We know this is a major degree because it's the first degree and the degree with the most initiative force. It's like the spark of the spark plug of the entire zodiac. So it's a big energy day and it's a fresh start and it's all about new initiatives, new everything, fresh everything. And this is what we're working with today as we evolve in our story of the Sabian symbols and the cosmic tale that unfolds before us, leading the way into second Renaissance. Dun dun dun. Okay. 1 Aries. What's the degree? A woman just risen from the sea, a seal embracing her. And then we're looking at the Earth also. The polarity of 1 Aries would be 1 Libra. And that is, actually, I wrote this degree down wrong. No, I can't look it up because I think it's not connected to the internet. Anyways, 1 Libra is the opposite degree we're working with. I wrote down 1 Virgo because I've been so used to writing the Earth in Virgo. Just full disclosure of why I'm not prepared on that point. Anyways, I do know that 1 Aries, the main degree of the sun today, the only degree of the sun today, the big energetic in effect today, a woman just risen from the sea, a seal embracing her. So let's talk about this degree and think about it and figure out in terms of what it's asking us to do today. So as I was pondering this and writing my degrees, which is something that I do every day, this is what I wrote this morning about this. I wrote, a woman risen from the sea, a seal embracing her. The beginning and transition from one state of being to another, from one world to another. Moving from one world to another. Rising from the sea, in this case, the sea is very appropriate because we are moving from the age of Pisces, Neptune, the ruler of the seas. And that's actually why during like the whole past age, the Pisces age, there was so much fish symbolism throughout everything. But we're rising out of like the watery spell of Pisces now and onto an entirely different state of being or world, the age of Aquarius, right? So this degree talks about a transition of worlds. She's rising from the sea, a seal, a creature who resides in the sea and on land, is embracing her and helping with the transition to the new world, the world above the water. You know, there's the world under the sea, but then the world above the water is a totally different story. Reference The Little Mermaid, right? Okay, so this degree talks about a transition of worlds, and that is what we are doing now as we move into the new moon in Aries. Because, as I was saying, the new moon in Pisces, really that was what closed things out and like gave us the final, and has been giving us throughout this next, as we finish out this new moon cycle until we get to Aries, it's been giving us the greatest gifts, the most highest potential to release karma and to just generally let go of a lot of baggage and trauma, pain, and try to create a fresh, clean slate within ourselves that we can embrace life from a new perspective, and we can start building something more authentic with our time and energy that's more in alignment with who we truly are going forward. So I think that in the context of what's going on, I mean, the sun discharges one Aries every year. It's the first degree of Aries, you know. But this year, I just find it extra, like, interesting because we're leaving Pisces, rising out of the water. That's Pisces. A seal embracing her, helping her transition to the new world. So that's really how I'm looking at this degree today. It's a very, like, it's a transitional point anyways, because we're moving into the fresh energetics of spring and out of, like, the ultimate end and remerging with source energy of Pisces. And this degree today is asking us to embody like becoming comfortable with the transition of worlds that we're about to make, and to prepare for that, and we're ready. We're rising from the sea, and the seal's embracing us and welcoming us. So I think that's that is a nice energetic for us today. It's always the energetic of the first day of Aries, but just in context of the new moon in Pisces that we just had, I think that this is an important energetic today in really, like, stepping foot. The sun's in Aries. Soon the moon, next couple of weeks, will be joining it in Aries, and the new moon in Aries will kick off everything. So we're rising out of the sea right now and preparing to step into the new world, the new paradigm that's totally different from the world that we've experienced up to this point under the sea. Okay, speaking of the sea, number 2, Neptune, the ruler of the sea, who we've been talking about a lot lately, has moved degrees. Neptune takes a very long time to move degrees, and so when it happens, it's a big shift energetically. And Neptune, for the past, like, 3 weeks or 4 weeks, has been discharging the energetic of a little white lamb, a child, and a Chinese servant. And I've been perceiving that as, like, really asking us to get in touch with our inner purity and our inner, like, gentleness, our inner child, the God spirit within us. It's like the energy of the meek, and just, like, pure naivety and kindness and an open heart, and, like I said, purity, innocence, gentleness, and joy, the inner child. And with Neptune shifting degrees now, the next degree that it's at, the degree that it's discharging now, and that it will be discharging throughout the next few weeks, is 22 Pisces, and that energetic is a man bringing down the new law from Sinai. So we've been asked to cultivate our inner purity, and now we're being asked to start embodying the new law, or start embodying heaven's law here on earth, is the way I kind of perceive it. I wrote about this. I said, this says it all, and it emphasizes everything represented by the Pisces new moon and the Mars node trine Saturn, and the Mars square Neptune, and the Saturn square Uranus. It's all pointing to man, who's us, through our own inspirations and manifestations, and creations and evolution of thought and behavior collectively. We bring down the law from heaven as the new law on earth. And that really, those higher consciousness principles and morals and greater understandings of karmic law and divine grace and the true operating paradigm of this reality are going to become much more relevant and important in the way that we proceed through the age of Aquarius, because we're all going to start understanding these concepts more and utilizing them in our own lives, and that is what's going to help us incorporate the new energies and use them in the most productive ways. So, yes, through... Hey guys, can you stop with that?
Please stop. I'm going back out.
Okay.
I'm trying to know.
Through our own inspirations, manifestations, creations, and evolutions of thought and behavior, collectively, we bring down the law of heaven as the new law on earth. We've been preparing for this through the past year, and especially the past few weeks. And now Neptune, the most spiritual planet whose influence is in effect all month long because of its placement conjunct the new moon, is discharging this degree, the man bringing down the new law from Sinai, helping us more as it discharges this energy. So as Neptune resonates to this frequency and the centers of our psyches that correlate to the Neptune frequencies also reverberate off of that, it's going to do this to some level or another within all of us collectively. Like, that's what the energetics are. Like, within all of our psyches, they have archetypal meanings and frequencies that are very much connected to like different areas of our own psyches that resonate to the same electromagnetic frequencies. And so it's like as above, so below, like attracts like. It's like whatever that specific frequency of Neptune correlates to a frequency in our psyche that produces that it's like the different parts of our brain, different parts of our subconscious, different feelings, the archetypal aspects that we all have inherently in us correlate to the different planetary bodies. And when those specific planetary bodies are resonating a certain frequency, it causes the same resonatory effect in that area of our psyche that matches up, our consciousness, I guess I should say, that matches up with the one that is much bigger and vibrating way out there. And so all of us have that as humans, and so it will be reverberating off of and matching the frequency of that planet. That's like how astrology works. And it's all electromagnetic and it's all frequency based. And you know, a lot of times people use the moon as an example of describing it. Like, plus, you know, our bodies are like 80% water or more, and they carry an electromagnetic charge. And I mean, when you think about how easy it is for the moon, who's like the smallest thing ever in comparison to the other planetary bodies, to pull our entire oceans on a daily basis, it's having the same effect on the subtle tides of the waters in our own bodies. And that's why, you know, anyone who works in mental health knows during a full moon that there's a lot more activity and a lot more issues usually that happen. It's just the way that our bodies electromagnetically interact with the other electromagnetic frequencies that are resonating throughout the universe. Science. But anyways, back to Neptune. So yes, we all, a man bringing down the new law from Sinai, we all are going to be incorporating in some way or another, sometimes more subtly, some with more ease, some totally unconsciously, but we're all going to be processing and bringing in this like new law from heaven to earth through the like spiritual connected area of our individual psyches, however that manifests within each of us. And so by the time that we get through Neptune discharging this degree, we get, and it will be here, I'm pretty sure, probably at the new moon in Aries as well. It's just helping us along. It's perfect, you know. the Sabian symbols, they don't change. They're always in the same order, and they always progress the same way. But I just find it so interesting, like, even though it's always the same cycle, the positions of other planets at the time and the various degrees that they'll activate simultaneously when there's different aspects going on, it's just the way that they can bring the story of the aspects to life in an even more like illustrated version is incredible to me. I love the Sabian symbols. I just think that they tell us so much more about what the planets are asking of us through their different aspects and stuff. Okay, so I have 2 more things I've written down for today. So far we've talked about, yay, the sun moved into Aries. It's officially Aries season. Spring is right around the corner. Today is the equinox. The sun moves into Aries. Spring has sprung. Yay, we love it. And Venus is not far behind. And we have Neptune changing degrees. Number 3, talk about the moon. The moon is in Gemini still. I don't know about you guys, but yesterday may have been a very busy day. It was a very busy day for me. I had a lot going on. I felt like I couldn't keep up with the amount of people and the communications I needed to do all day, and I was like constantly running behind schedule because things kept coming up and I had so much that I needed to get done. But today, the moon is off conjunction with Mars, off conjunction with the North Node, and it's just transitioning or moving through the rest of Gemini. And yeah, less active than Friday when we had the conjunctions, but it's still activating Mercury in Pisces and the closing square between Mercury and Mars. Again, tension in communication and projection and cognitive dissonance, but probably not to the level of yesterday. Also, the moon is in square to Neptune today. So that's like generally like a little bit more like a dreamy, like evasive energy, like not like super high energy. Although it is Gemini, and Gemini is typically really energetic. But with the moon square Neptune, that's like daydream, escaping reality, and it's a good idea to, like, if you're feeling that way, to like use the energy today to more like meditate and pray and divinely connect, and maybe not just like watch Netflix all day or just like be on like Facebook all day. Good. I'm so glad.
Now I can press on it.
Don't press on it.
Why?
And so yeah, communication, yeah, just like daydreaming and stuff, just like not really like super hyper like motivated and focused and stuff like that. Not as much as yesterday for sure, but yeah, it's a good like type of creative energy as well. So just something to put out there. There is the moon squaring Neptune. And so if you're feeling a little daydreaming, can't really concentrate that well, your mind's not that streamlined, you're kind of scatterbrained and all over the place, kind of just wanting to like chill out and not really do much, that might be why. Okay, last thing I want to talk about on Sunday, so tomorrow, we have Jupiter moving degrees to 22 Aquarius as the moon moves to Cancer and begins to trine. Hold on. Okay, so yeah, we have Jupiter moving to 22 Aquarius as the moon moves to Cancer and begins to trine the planets in Pisces, who are Mercury, Neptune, and Venus for one more day. Let's see. Things that were started at the new moon will receive help and ease of facilitation while the moon is in Cancer, because it will be in a trine to where the planets were at the new moon. And so anything started at the new moon should flow easily and nicely over the next couple of days while the moon is in Cancer. It's a good time for progress on stuff like that. Also, yeah, Jupiter moving to 22 Aquarius. A rug placed on the floor for children to play. So, again, We have Jupiter, the planet of gifts, blessings, expansion, who blows things up and brings us our blessings, but also can be like what we overindulge in or overdo. You know, the flip side of, you know, too much of a good thing. But anyways, Jupiter, the great benefic, a rug placed on the floor for children to play. This is another reference to embracing the inner child and return to what brings us joy and feels like play when we do it. There's a rug placed on the floor, so God is looking after our comfort while we rediscover what brings us true inner joy and how we can turn work into play. And again, the way I'm interpreting this degree is that it's all about, like I've been saying, again, reference through the children, getting back to what brings us joy, getting back to like our inner child and how we used to perceive life with like a sense of wonder and excitement for each day, you know, like looking forward to happy surprises around every corner, just expecting the best. And this is talking about a rug placed on a floor for children to play. So it's like a set, comfortable place for us to rediscover how we can make our work our play, what gives us joy to do, what when we do it doesn't feel like work, you know, like what. And that comes back also to the degree of Saturn. In a quiet moment, divine inspiration may change a man's life. The lesson right now, and what it has been ever since the new moon, that we all need to look inside and sit with ourselves and figure out who we really are, who we were originally, how we got so far from that, and what we need to do to cultivate that and to develop our gifts, our skills, our talents, our potentials, our talents that we were born with, in order to create something, a work that's also our joy and our play that we can give and serve humanity with. And in return, we can receive great abundance to support ourselves and our families, becoming like our own self-sustaining enterprises that aren't reliant on, you know, going to work for external sources that are completely out of alignment with where our true passions and joys in life are. So Jupiter is really helping us with this over the next few days while he's at this degree. And again, it's giving us a gift, and we also know that we're receiving karmic gifts right now because of the degrees of Saturn and Uranus in the square, and Uranus being at a Christmas tree decorated. So over the next few days while Jupiter discharges this degree, we are receiving blessings in terms of helping us to cultivate our inner child and our inner joy and rediscover how to play with our lives, how to play the game of life. All right, guys, that's all that I have today. I'm going to do my best, but I may be off, or I may not be able to make videos over the next couple days because it's my son's birthday this weekend and I've got a lot going on, and I don't know, honestly, if I'm going to be able to find time to do this. So I hope everyone has a beautiful weekend, and I will see you guys back as soon as I possibly can. See you later, guys. Thanks for watching.